Alright, so I'll do a reverse puff dough. I've got 2 pounds of flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, a pint of cold water, just cold tap water. I don't need any drum with ice cubes or any of that. And we need a stiff belt of vegetable oil. It'll lubricate the dough. About that much. And we just mix that into a supple dough. We don't want a soft dough, not like bread dough. Where is it? This is straight out of the refrigerator. It's very cold. Very hard. Very hard. I'm going to show you a very quick way of doing this. I'm going to set the timer on the oven. I'll set the timer for 30 minutes. And I don't think it'll take 30 minutes to make this. Beginning to end. But these butter packets are a pain in the neck. Get off. So for 2 pounds of flour, we're going to use 2 pounds of butter. And this being a reverse puff dough, instead of putting the butter into the dough and rolling it, we're going to put the butter on the outside of the dough and roll it like that. And what have we got here? Not mixing very efficiently. It's all dry on the bottom. So we'll just rotate it a little bit. Table's shaking. It's still not mixing up properly. Watch the camera doesn't fall down. That's good. So we're just going to leave this dough. It's kind of a raggedy dough, but it's not hard. It's not hard like a pie dough. So I'm going to have to move this camera over. It will fall down. It always does when I start pounding. And we'll use this. It's maple. No, I'm just tapping it. I'm not winding up. That would just break the butter. What we want to do is to get it moving internally. Okay, it's moving. It starts to break up. Flip it over. And as it starts to move, you can hit it a little bit harder. There we go. I'm gonna bang out this quarter. They didn't have 2 single pounders, so I have to buy these quarter pounders. They're a pain in the neck. Pound out. Pain in the neck to peel. Yeah, that's my camera's taking a walk. Alright. We'll stack them up. Yeah. See if we can press it out a little bit. Basically just want it twice the size as the piece of dough, so I can fold it around the dough. I need some flour. Like that. Yeah, I just want to square this up a little bit. And then, there's my dough. Put on half the butter. And when you start doing this, the first couple of folds, they look like an absolute disaster. But just ignore it, keep going. By the time you get the third fold on it, it looks fine. Butter's still a bit on the cold side. It's going to chip up. But we'll persevere. Get the paper off. And we'll start rolling and get rid of this thing. The butter's chipping up because it's so cold, but we really want to work with it very cold. I'll just give it a second. You can see it's kind of chipping up. It'll be alright. Don't worry. It'll be alright. Get a little bit of perspective there. Tilt this a little bit. Get some butter, flour under it. And we'll see if it starts moving for us. Looks like a disaster. Just keep going. Don't worry about it. Any butter that comes out the end, just sling it right on top. Okay, we've got one fold on it. This is the second one. That's two. This will be 3. You should not have to use a brush. If you've got so much flour on it you need to brush it, you're dumping too much flour on the dough. So don't, never sprinkle flour like this. Always dust it like that. See, I've got it in my hand and I'm just releasing a little bit each time. So I skim it. It's a very even skim dusting, not a sprinkling. So we got 3. We start out with 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. 81 layers so far. This is the 4th. That'll be 4 8 32, 220. And then the last fold, we'll do a buck fold, which will be times 4, not times 3. And that'll give us over 1200 layers. And it took hardly any time to do it. I don't know what people are smoking when they say this process takes 2 days or 3 days, I've read. Well, whatever they're smoking, it's not working. There's 4. 320 layers. So the last turn, the 5th turn, I'll do a buck fold, which is where the 2 ends come to the centre and then you go over, which gives you times 4. So that's 1200 layers. 1280, almost 1300, something like that. It's not especially hard to roll. It gets a bit rubbery when you get to this stage, but all you have to do is just let it relax for a few minutes. It's 70 degrees in the kitchen right now. I'm sitting down for a minute. So at 70 degrees, it's perfectly fine. This butter is not melting. That's still cold. That feels like about 55 degrees or so. I don't know. My temperature gun is out in the garage. But whatever, as long as it feels cold, it's fine. Won't go wrong. So I'm just giving this a minute. What I don't like doing is putting it in the refrigerator and pulling it out again. When you pull it out, it's rock hard again. It doesn't help anything. The time that you give it to relax is what counts. Unless it's 95 degrees in your kitchen, don't refrigerate it. Just keep going. Now we're just pressing it out slowly. I'm not putting a lot of force on it. I just want to ease it out. The less of this you do, the easier time you'll have. Just press it. Don't be rolling it back and forth constantly, because that just makes it tough. That's working the dough. A bit more. Oh, my Danish. I've got some Danish proof in here. While this relaxes, I'll just throw some blueberry pie filling on these and everything will be happy. Need a spoon. Look at that. Come on. That's quite lovely. And these can go in the oven as soon as it's hot. And back to the dough. See how it's rolling out now? Because it's relaxed just from 2 minutes. Not hard work. So we'll come to the centre. And over the top. And then I'll sling this on a tray. Just surround it a little bit. So keep it from drying out. I'm going to sling that on a tray. And it's done. It took 23 minutes. Beginning to end. Mixing the dough and everything. Oh, maybe there's just not enough drama in the way I'm doing it. I don't know. See ya.